Hi, and welcome to our Be Your Own CFO Sneak Peek. I'm Jessica Krause, founder and CEO of New Life Accounting. I'm making this video for two key reasons. So one, I want to show you the extent of what's included in this complete masterclass. This is a heavy-duty course created to help contractors, business owners, and bookkeepers alike access the financial tools necessary to scale a construction business and on a budget. Two, I want to show you how easy it is to navigate this Kajabi course platform. So this is going to be an entirely self-paced course with modules that will build on each other. So you finish this course with a foundational understanding of key construction accounting concepts. So let's dive in. You can see here on my screen, this is the Kajabi dashboard. So any courses that you have purchased through Kajabi will be on here for NLA. So Be Your Own CFO Complete Masterclass, that's what we're going through today. This is the pilot program that we launched in the spring. So let's dive into this Be Your Own CFO Complete Masterclass. So once we get in here, you will have this welcome video that you can watch, and it's me welcoming you to this course and all the information that you need to know up front to be successful. You'll see this bar and showing you your progress of the masterclass as you go through it. So 28 out of 29 lessons complete. You have an opportunity to book one-on-one coaching with myself. This is an additional investment, but it is there if you need it. And of course, follow us on Instagram or other social media platforms. We provide a lot of content and resources on there as well for you. So again, this is a self-paced course, so it's going to build on each other. So none of these will be unlocked until you have completed the one before. So you have to complete Module 1 to get into Module 2. But let's dive into Module 1. In each module, there is going to be a welcome video and an overview of the module itself and what you can expect in that module. And then you also have the lessons. So in Module 1, we're talking about the chart of accounts and having accurate starting numbers. So in Lesson 1 of Module 1, we're going through the foundational aspects of building out a chart of accounts if you haven't already had one, or revising one that you have to fit your business needs and how you want to collect that data. This is super important as the foundation of your accounting system and all of the data that you are collecting. So we want to start here. And like I said already a couple times, this course builds on each other. So make sure you go through this one first, understand it. There is a template here for you as well to set up a chart of accounts that you can use. And you also have the downloads over here to be able to access the slides. Once we are done with Lesson 1, we move into Lesson 2, and we're talking about accurate starting numbers. So many times, a tax accountant or your CPA will have adjustments to your books, and they'll send you those adjustments, hopefully, but not always does a business owner know what to do with them or take the time to know what to do with them. They send you your tax return, you sign your e-file thing, and you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm done, and you forget about that piece, that extra attachment that they had in the email or something that has those journal entries that you need to record. So a lot of times our starting numbers are off. And we want to make sure that we know how to make sure that those are accurate and good to move forward. That will give us started in the right direction of having accurate books. So we have a template here for you as well in this lesson that can help you make those adjustments and find those discrepancies. Once that module is complete, you can move to the next one. And in Module 2, we're talking about accounts receivable and accounts payable. We go through all of the best practices for accounts receivable and payable. So in Lesson 1, we dive into the accounts receivable side. We are going to go through best practices on accounts receivable, some ratios that we can be watching, understanding our SOPs, and what this role may look like. If you have someone in your office doing the accounts receivable, what other tasks should they be doing? So we have the role of an AR billing specialist handout here that shows you all the different tasks that they could be doing. And we also have a template here to develop your own standard operating procedures, your SOPs for your business around accounts receivable. And then of course the slides are here for you to download as well. Then we head into lesson 2 and we're diving into accounts payable. So a lot of the same things as AR, but really focus on the accounts payable side. What are the best practices? What are the key ratios that we need to know? You have the role of the AP accountant handout here. You have the AP SOP process here. And you have your slides of the presentation here as well. Moving right along to module 3, we are diving into the balance sheet reconciliations. This is a huge one that we want to make sure that we really understand to give us accurate numbers and accurate financial reporting. So in lesson 1, we're covering the assets section of the balance sheet. We're going through all the asset accounts, making sure that we understand what makes up each asset account, how we reconcile those, what supporting documentation that we might need. We have a template here for a balance sheet reconciliation workbook. This is a massive workbook that will hold all of your balance sheet accounts. And in the beginning, you're going to have to invest a little bit of time to set it up, but once it's set up, it runs so smoothly, and make sure that you have all of your accounts with accurate information to provide those good, solid financial reports. We also included a fixed asset policy template and how you can record your depreciation and managing your fixed assets. In lesson 2, we cover liabilities and equity on the balance sheet. So the second part of the balance sheet, we're going through each account, understanding them, how we reconcile them, what information that we're needing. We're walking through that balance sheet reconciliation template, and then you also have access to the slides. Going into module 4, we are talking about job costing and income statement review. So as mentioned a few times now, this course is going to build on each other. So we want to make sure that we have a good chart of accounts, a foundation for how we are recording those transactions and how we are job costing and where those transactions are going, making sure that they're consistent. And then once we have that, we can really focus on what is involved in job costing. A lot of businesses are job costing, but maybe they're not job costing everything. Maybe it's not 100% accurate. Maybe they don't have good processes in place. So we did provide a template, a handout for job costing processes, kind of best practices and what you could do to help improve your job costing in your business. We also go through the slides, how we reconcile those job costs as well from the job costs or the job reports to the general ledger. We have to make sure that those are reconciling out. Again, make sure we have good financial numbers. And then in lesson 2, we go through the income statement review. So in the income statement review, we're looking at how we can go through and see and monitor our costs. So this, in the job costing side, we're really looking at our cost of sales. And the income statement review, we've kind of gone through those costs of sales already. So now this is more heavily focused on the overhead costs and what we should be looking for in there. So you have your handout of the slides that are included in the presentation, and then we can go into the next module. Module 5, this is a big one, revenue recognition. So there's a bunch of different ways that we can recognize revenue in the construction industry, but there are 2 main ones that most people have heard of, and that is completed contract method and percentage of completion. So we walk through those in lesson 1. What do they mean, and which one's going to be the best option for your business? Who can use which method? So there are some parameters around that, and we go through that in that lesson. And then in lesson 2, we really focus on that percentage of completion with our WIP report, our work in progress report, and mostly focus on the cost to cost method, but we do highlight some other methods in this module. So we also have provided you with a WIP schedule template. This is going to be key to monitoring all your projects on one schedule, making sure that they all tie out to your financials as well. One of the biggest complaints that we hear on the surety side, so if you're needing bonding in the future, is that the financials don't tie to the WIP. The WIP doesn't tie back to the financials. Nothing talks to each other correctly. And so we really focus on making sure that we can tie out those numbers back to the financial reports for you. All right, Module 6, we're diving into cash management. In Lesson 1, we talk about the basics of cash management. So we go through what all do we need to know to be able to manage our cash? What do we have to have in place to be able to do cash projections? What's kind of our first steps in managing that cash? Cash is king. We've all heard it. We've also heard, the construction companies don't go out of business because they can't find work. They go out of business because they don't manage their cash flow correctly. So making sure that we get a really good handle on this and what it means, we dive through some ratios and how you can calculate them, what to be looking for. So this is a key one to the success of your business. And then in Lesson 2, we walk through how to do a cash projection. So we provide you with a template to do a weekly cash projection, and we walk through how you gather that data, what goes into it. It's a pretty simple tool that you can use if you are needing to manage that cash on a weekly basis. And Module 7, we are putting it all together, all of the data that we have seen and worked through, and tying a bow in that monthly reporting package. So in Lesson 1, we talk about those standard reports, your balance sheet, your income statement, maybe your cash flow statement. We're going through those standard reports. We have a report template for you, a prep template for you. That way we can make sure that each report that you are putting together is reconciling to each other, it's matching. Like I just mentioned, that biggest concern in surety is that they see all these financial reports and none of them match or tie. That doesn't give them a lot of confidence in the contractor. So we want to make sure that we're putting it all together in a way that it all flows and matches and shows these third parties, your banks, your surety, we know what we're doing here, right? We have a step up ahead. And then in Lesson 2, the supplemental reports. So additional reporting that you can add. We have that management report template that you can use. You can choose to use it, choose not to use it. Ties everything together, makes everything pretty and a nice little package for you. We also walk through what you should be looking through in these management reports in this module, how to read them and go through them. But I also think, like what we said several times, this is building on each other. So as you're going through it, you're understanding more and more of this financial data. So when you get to this reporting side, it makes a lot more sense to you. And in Module 8, we're focusing on utilizing all of that data that we have collected. So in Lesson 1, we're going to go through various KPIs that we should be looking at and what those are and how to calculate them. And I have a KPI scorecard here for you as a template as well to use and track your KPIs. And then in Lesson 2, we're taking a deep dive. How do you use all of this information to reach your goals in your business, to get to your growth level? So we have a goals template in here for you of setting those goals and then monitoring them, picking out which KPIs that you should focus on that are going to help you achieve those goals. So this is a big one with Module 8 on next steps. Now that you have good financial data, what do you do with it? And how do you utilize it? And then we have 4 bonus lessons in the complete masterclass. So bonus lesson 1 is on communication. You hear it all the time. Some of the biggest problems in business happen because of a lack of communication. So we want to make sure that we have good systems in place to have really strong communication in our business. Bonus lesson 2 is on equipment and small tools. So if you are a contractor that has a lot of equipment and you need to understand how do we allocate that equipment back, how do we track those costs in the equipment, That's going to be really important for you. Bonus 3 is on leadership and how to lead a team. And bonus 4 is on payroll and union reporting. So we're diving in a little deeper into the payroll and union reporting segment of that balance sheet reconciliation. All right, if you go back to your library here at the top, you'll also see this button up here to book a course help session. So if you're going through this course at any time and you are getting stuck on something or you need help with something, you can always book a help session and one of our team members will gladly help you through that. So this, what I just walked through, is the complete masterclass. There are 2 other bundles that are part of this whole masterclass. So we have taken segments, we have taken modules from the complete masterclass and bundled them for maybe individuals who aren't ready to do the entire masterclass or just want an introduction to NLA and the type of content that we provide. Maybe they have a very specific need in what they're needing. So we have segmented that out and made different bundles that are part of this complete masterclass. Again, this is video-based content. There's those downloadable templates and resources for you. So a lot of good information that can help you build a really strong construction business. So now that you know what to expect from our Be Your Own CFO course, I hope you'll try one. So click on the button below this video to find out which course is right for you. Thanks for joining me as we did this walkthrough of the Be Your Own CFO course through the Kajabi platform.